With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back, trackside. Once again, race fans here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the International Virtual Racing League Picket Ford Cup Series fires things off for race number 20 here in season number 2. Just 6 more races before we begin our championship chase. Who's going to take the top spot this week? Will it be another first-time winner? Last week we seen Nick Goebel take the top spot at Atlanta Super Speedway. Will we see another first-time winner here tonight? How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. 114-degree track temperature. This is going to be a tough task for these drivers in this qualifying session. And speaking of qualifying, why don't we go ahead and get you some of those HMG Innovation qualifying times over there on the left-hand side of your screen. Top of the speed charts, quick time here from New Hampshire. 94 Ford Mustang of Nicholas Pressey. Just 100th faster than Jordan Wawrzyk. Right there in that 41 Chevy ZL1 Camaro, a 3077 for Wawrzyk. Blaney, Stang, Jeanette, Hegdahl, Goebel, all yet to put in their time lapse. Where will that fast 81 of Jaden Gimbel end up shaking out? Just about 30 seconds left here before the music fades away into the background, and just about 2 minutes left before qualifying is in the books. And top of the speed charts now, Fast time belongs to Wesley Jeanette in that 74 machine. He's going to put it on the provisional pole in the HMG Innovations qualifying session. Will he be able to keep that spot is the question to be asked. Jaden Gimbel is out there on track. There you can see Gimbel off in the background. He'll cross the line this time by. Where's he going to slot out with his first time lap? And he's going to go straight to the top by almost a tenth. My gosh, Jaden Gimbel, speed out there tonight in that 81 machine. Gimbel already to victory lane 3 times this season. Looking to gain that top spot in the point standings back once again. I tell you what, speaking of point standings, just a handful of drivers left to put in their time lapse. So what do you say we try to get to this pretty quick if we can, coming into tonight's race? Your overall point standings look a little something like this. Tight little battle. Only 18 points separating Pressey from Gimbel. A little bit further back is Ryan Farrell, and then the gaps begin to build from there. But we do have some close battling back through the tail end of your running order. Nick Goebel, Patrick Gaspar, they're knotted up. Nick Cannon right there within striking distance. So a handful of drivers can make some moves here before the end of the regular season, or will drivers have to race their way in by capturing a checkered flag? Just your final 30 seconds left in qualifying here, and it looks like Jaden Gimbel will walk away with the HMG Innovations Pole Award here tonight with the quick time in qualifying, 30:65. With that being said, race fans, we're going to head trackside now for your national anthem, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And as the Jets finish the flyover, drivers begin to make their way through final pre-race inspection and on to the starting grid. You can hear a handful of them going ahead and firing those engines up, ready to get the temperatures a little bit warm. Track temperature already warm here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The Lobster 150 here tonight. Race number 20 out of the 26-week regular season. And I tell you what, as it gets closer to time to go, why don't we go to the front stretch as drivers begin to make their way into their starting positions. Looks like just a handful of drivers still yet to head through inspection. Warwick, Henshaw, Doer, Goebel, all coming through pre-race technical inspection. And there you go. Most of them making their way onto the starting grid now. All the fans in the stands, look at them all standing right there, standing room only at the fences here tonight. We're going to have to keep an eye on some of those, make sure none of them try to climb the fence here tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, try to get a little bit famous. We'll see if any of them make any moves. And as the bells begin to ring in the background, you know the sounds, you know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup in the Lobster 150 here for the IVRL Pinkett Ford Cup Series, starting inside row number 1 on the pole here tonight. Snatching the fast time in the HMG Innovations qualifying session inside row number 1, the 81 of Jaden Gimbel. 74 of Wesley Jeanette will roll off right beside him. 94 of Nicholas Pressey and Jordan Warwick right there in row number 2. Row number 3 here tonight, the 70 of Eric Hegdahl and the 12 of Randy Henshaw. Christopher Whitaker, Jason Blaney back in row number 8. Row number 4, I apologize. Row number 5, Ty Dewar and Matthew Baker. Row number 6, the 77 of John Tiller, followed by that 71 of Christopher Stang. Stang has been on a tear as of late. One of those fill-in drivers that has seemed to become a constant here over the course of the past several weeks. Look to see that 71 at the front. Final row here tonight, Ryan Farrell, Nick Goebel, and we'll head to the front as the iRacing pace car ducks off. Music will fade, and we will get ready to hear these engines sing, and there it is, just like that, green flag flies. For the first time here tonight, Jaden Gimbel gets on the gas and gets away from the field. Pressey down to the inside of Jeanette. He's going to grab that position away. The Clark 74. Oh, and the 41 has trouble. Warwick goes around off of turn 2. Warwick goes around. Somehow they keep it going. There was a lot of contact right there. Let's get back to the front. Right back to the front, right with the action. We'll get back to that for a replay here in just a moment. Oh my goodness, that was a little crazy there on the start. Things starting to sort themselves out a little bit here at the front. So I tell you what, let's jump back and see what happened here. And there you can see the 41 going around. Oh, the 77 to 26 both have contact with that inside Armco barrier. That's going to spell trouble for both of those drivers. And we'll head back live at the front of this field as your pole sitter begins to stretch his legs a little bit in that Gymshark 81 machine. Gimbel out to a half a second race advantage. Fastest lap turned in last time around by the 81. Jeanette hot on his trail. Nicholas Pressey rounds out your top 3. Eric Hegdahl and Jason Blaney now into 5th. Gonna take a look around the field. What do you say we go back here? Drivers caught up and involved in that skirmish on lap number 1, turn 1. Or actually exit of turn 2 was when it took place. 41 target machine of Jordan Warwick right there, trying to make his way back a little further inside of the top 10. He's got that 88 of Christopher Whitaker just in front of him. Whitaker trying to lay it down on the high side here. Warwick looks to the inside, going to have the position by the time they enter turn 3. Will the crossover come from the 88? He's looking. No, a little bit of a wiggle. That could have went wrong. Ryan Farrell is stuck in line right here. Farrell doesn't look like he's going anywhere in a hurry. Looked like the 43 elected to stay back behind him. It looked like he had an opportunity, a chance to make his way around that 88. Or 26, yes, the 88, the 26 of Matthew Baker a little bit further on back. And here we go. Ryan Farrell now going to look to the inside. Lays the power down, but the high side looks, that midline off really looks to roll well out of turn number 4. We'll have to wait and see if that ends up being the preferred line as we go a little further up in the field. Let's take a look at this battle. It's going to be for the 7th and 8th position here. John Tiller, Christopher Stang right here. Neither with a clear-cut advantage. They just seem to be kind of mirroring each other's pace. Last time by, the lap time is very similar, at 31.68 to 31.55. So I mean, a tenth of a second faster is Stang for the moment, but just not able to really do anything with it. Meanwhile, up inside of your top 5, let's go back up here. Eric Hegdahl starting to close in on Jason Blaney. Blaney picking up 4 positions from where he qualified, so heading into that top 5, but once he's got there, he's kind of fell into a rhythm and not really gaining too much more time on Nicholas Pressey. Pressey starting to step away, actually just increased that gap by a tenth of a second last time around. Your top 3 beginning to have those gaps so familiar to seeing long green flag runs here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And will we see a clean and green stage number 1? Stage number 1 will come to a close at lap number 30. Already going to have 10 laps in the bag when we cross the line this time around. So Jaden Gimble looking to pick up right where he left off in the qualifying session by leading all 9 laps on the board. Wesley Jeanette staying in touch, but not really able to gain any ground. You'll notice that distance, that timing over there on the left-hand side of your screen. He'll gain a tenth or two and then kind of give up that tenth or two. There it is, heading right back in the opposite direction. So Jeanette makes up on corner entry, but loses a little bit from center off. Nicholas Pressey, a little bit of a rough go right now trying to keep up with those top 2. He's dropping off of the pace here. Last time by, it looks like he gave up about 2/10 to your top 2. Although he is leaving Jason Blaney behind. So your closest battle going to be right here between these 2 drivers. Oh, and we got a caution. We've got a caution on the track. Caution flag flies for the first time here tonight. Looks like Baker and Whitaker involved in this latest one. Tell you what, why don't we go check the replay? Let's see what happened here. You can see Matthew Baker. Everything seems to be fine for Baker. You know, the 88 of Whitaker hard into the outside wall, and Baker nowhere to go. You can already see that right front off of the front end of Christopher Whitaker. So the 88 with some big time trouble. Tell you what, let's go on board here, see if we can't see what happened here with Christopher Whitaker. There you can see him just on the gas. Oh, and it gets in contact. There was a little bit of contact there. Not sure who that was. We got another vantage point of that. Maybe we can catch all the parties involved here. And no, the 41 of Warwick up the track just a little. Oh, right there. And into the outside of that 88. The 88 into the outside wall. That's pretty much all she wrote. That's going to be a hard press to come back from, I'll tell you that one. So looks like Tyler Doer and Christopher Whitaker back behind pit wall. So caution flag flies right around the halfway point here tonight. Handful of drivers with some early troubles. Matthew Baker, he's had some contact. We'll have to see if Baker's able to beat and bang and massage that front end back out enough to give him at least a fighting chance here tonight. He's going to stay on pit road for an extended stay, it looks like, this time around. Your top 7 staying out on track. Brian Farrell, John Tiller already back off of pit road. The 41 of Warwick comes off of pit road as well. And it looks like damage too much for that 88 of Christopher Whitaker. Crew chief shakes his head, and that's going to be the end of the night for Christopher Whitaker. He's going to slot home in right around that 12th position here tonight. So a tough break for the 88. Well, your pole sitter at the front of the field inside of that Gymshark 81 machine, Jaden Gimbel, snatching the HMG Innovations Pole Award, was able to fire off and stretch out to almost a 1 second advantage before seeing our first caution flag fly of the night. Will he be able to get back on the gas, up through the gears? Something we've really noticed here with these new next-gen cars. You don't really typically see that bad wheel spin that you used to see in last year's Cup cars. So the newer cars, you're able to put the power down a little bit easier, but I believe on certain speedways, certain racetracks, that gearing is going to be the key. Whether you got more top end or more of the acceleration. I think right here on this particular 1 mile course, one that you really roll the center, you're out of the gas for quite a ways here around these corners. I think more so on the front end would be needed, but hey, I'm no crew chief, so don't know what these drivers got as far as their gear ratios here tonight. You can see teammates lined up on the inside. That's going to be Jeanette, and I believe the 17 of Jason Blaney going to team up down there on the inside, trying to take over the top spot if they can. Jaden Gimbel looks to take the outside. Nicholas Pressey chooses the outside as well. 12 of Randy Henshaw going to take the inside line, now coming to the Geico restart zone. In the zone and on the gas, green flag flies. Once again, here from New Hampshire. Outside lane gets going, inside lane stumbles. The teammates going nowhere right now. They're going to be lucky to keep third and fourth for the time being. Out to the outside, Eric Hegdahl trying to make some moves. Randy Henshaw struggling on the inside lane. Go back here, take a little look at this one as the 12 of Randy Henshaw looks to the inside of Hegdahl. Fueled Up Motorsports number 70 going to keep it wound up on the high side. He's not going to go down without a fight. Hegdahl will take that 5th position. Christopher Stang trying to make that high side work as well. He's going to pull even now when hitting Shaw, and he's going to look to make his way a little bit closer to top 5. Henshaw, the only driver running the bottom of the racetrack all the way around the racetrack. Ooh, boy, that got a little bit tight. You can see those fresher tires definitely paying off for Ryan Farrell. The 43 started back tail end of the field. Here he is now, knocking on the door of a top 5, up 6 positions, following right along in the tire tracks of that 71 of Christopher Stang, who's also up 6 positions here tonight. So biggest mover of the race, tied right now between Stang and Farrell. Matthew Baker is still chugging along right here. Looks like Baker may have a little bit of damage to, whoa, front end's breaking loose, gotta catch it. There you go, that is a great save. You can see the front end snap on Baker there. He was able to chase it up the track and get back on the gas and keep it out of that outside. Also a big time save there for Baker after already being caught up and involved in somebody else's mess earlier here tonight during our first caution of the evening. And I do believe we're getting word, yeah, Baker caught up and involved in both of our incidents here tonight. Meanwhile, front of the field, stepping away, race leader, pole sitter Jaden Gimbel, walking away a 1.1 second advantage as they work their way off of turn number 4. Back across the stripe, lap number 21 goes on the board with less than 10 laps to go here in stage number 1. Fight is on though right here. Contact! Contact, can they save it? No, they don't. Up the track and caution flag flies. The 17 of Jason Blaney, the 94 of Nicholas Pressey, arguing over real estate, and those two drivers make contact and go around. Tell you what, let's go back. Let's check the replay. Gonna come to it a little bit late here, so let's see if we got another look at that one. And Blaney just really deep into the corner in contact with the tail end of the 17. Ryan Farrell going to catch a piece of that as they both head up the track. Both make contact. We'll get them headed in the right direction. That's going to bring us back to a crawl, back behind the iRacing pace car for the second time here tonight. It looks like Pressy still has some horsepower in that 94 Ford Mustang. So his night's not over, not done yet. Ryan Farrell, he's already going to come to pit road. Jaden Gimbel, Wesley Jeanette, they're not coming to pit road. They're going to stay out here, and I think that's a good move. I think that's a bold strategy here. The Farrell, Baker, Tiller, Blaney, Pressy all to pit road this time around. Tyler Doer should be receiving the lucky dog here. We'll see if he does, and indeed, yep, up and around the pace car. So Doer multiple laps down after early trouble on lap number 1. We've seen that 13 with some issues. He's back out there, fired up, ready to go here tonight. He gained 1 position already by making his way around Christopher Whitaker in the point stand on the scoring pylon. And I don't know here. I mean, we should see, if I'm not mistaken, we should have 1 to go this time around. So as drivers come to the choose line, we'll get ready to fire things back off on lap number 25. So it's going to be a short shootout to the end of stage number 1. We're looking to see if those pace car lights did indeed turn off, and no, we're going to go 1 more lap around, so that's going to give us just a short 4-lap shootout. And with the playoffs right around the corner, race fans, these playoff points, these bonus points are going to come into factor. They are going to come into play. Large gaps in the point standings, yes, between your top 10. Randy Henshaw listed 10th in the overall point standings here coming into tonight's race. 280 points out of your points lead. But with a win, that will put him in 11 drivers already locked in so far this season. Or I apologize, I believe it may be 12 drivers locked in with their race wins this season. 13 different race winners. Joel Connolly being one of those non-regulars that has been to victory lane, claimed to win in the opening race this year, but not a full-time driver, so not locked into the championship playoffs. So it's going to be a hard-pressed battle for those final 4 or 5 slots. And that's if we don't get any more new race winners. So, I mean, things going to get very interesting back here around, I would say, Adam Wood, Tyler Gentry, Randy Henshaw. I mean, how about Charles Urich? Urich, not here tonight. But he's up inside of the top 10. He's yet to come to victory lane so far this season. So, I mean, there's a lot of big names out there that haven't been to victory lane. And we're going to get ready to fire things off this time back around the iRacing pace car. Will duck off. Kimball will lead them to the Geico restart line once again. And there it is on the gas. Green flag flies here from New Hampshire. Gimbal, Hegdahl, Jeanette, Henshaw, all down into turn number 1. They fan out through turn 1. Just a short 3 laps left here in stage number 1. Eric Hegdahl with a big move. He's going to stay out and gain another 2 positions, and he's going to take that second spot away. Now Wesley Jeanette looks back to the inside. They'll force a 2-wide moment, almost 3 wide for a second. Hegdahl and Henshaw going at it. There's Christopher Stang back inside of your top 5. The Ford Mustang 71 machine running that higher lane, and it is paying off Heading towards the front right now, looking to solidify a solid top 5 for the stage end. Jaden Gimbel out to a 4/10 of a second advantage. Wesley Jeanette right there in second with Eric Hegdahl. Rounding out your top 3. 2, 3 wide through turn number 3 and 4. Ooh, close quarters on corner exit. They'll go back to just double file the 17. Jason Blaney deep into the corner. Oh, and Hegdahl. Or I apologize, Warzik in that 41 machine. He's got a problem. How about Jason Blaney, man, coming out of nowhere? From the back to the front with 2 laps to go here in stage number 1. My gosh, that 17 shot out of a cannon. He's going to dive it into that inside lane once again, looking. Take over the 4th position now, Stang. Blaney side by side, halfway down the backstretch, back into turn 3. Gimbel stepping away from Jeanette. There's Eric Hegdahl running in that 3rd position, and now Jason Blaney going to snatch that 4th spot with a great slide job, and he's going to look down to the inside here. Oh, and there it is. That's going to be the stage end. Right at lap number 30, we'll call it the end of the stage here. So the stage 1 win belongs to your pole sitter here tonight, who's led every single lap so far. The 81 Game Shark. Jaden Gimbel going to take the stage win, and we're going to step away for a brief commercial break. Get things ready to go here for stage number 2. Look for all of these drivers to begin to make their way to pit road this time around. So with the stage ending pit stops looming in the air, we're going to step away from the track for a handful of brief commercial breaks. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. and back trackside as the iRacing pace car gets ready to make that left-hand turn. New race leader for the first time here tonight. Nicholas Pressey will stay out. Jason Blaney going to stay out as well. They'll lead the field to the restart, and green flag flies. 17 of Blaney fires out of a cannon on that inside lane. He was running in the top three until trouble on the track put him a little further back in the field, and a man on a mission now. Inside of that 17 machine is Jason Blaney. Let's get that timing and scoring back up for you. I tell you what, let's go watch this battle. We got a hornet's nest right here around that 74 on Wesley Jeanette, just off in front. The 77 of John Tiller. Close contact in the back. Randy Hinshaw almost scrapes the outside wall. There's the 41 of Jordan Dworizik right there in that target machine. Christopher Stang moving his way back to the front. The 70 of Eric Hegdahl back in this field as well. And for the first time here tonight, your pole sitter has got to deal with some dirty air. That Game Shark machine sitting right there in the third position. Jeanette with a slide job of zone through 3 and 4 right in front of that 77 of Tiller. Worizik all over his tail end. And Jeanette going to turn in the fastest lap last time around. A 30.71 is the quick time here in race trim. No, and Worizik having some troubles. And he'll hit that inside retaining wall and into the tire barriers now. Trouble for Worizik. Gimbal and Pressey have contact, and Pressey into the outside wall, and I think that right front may be broken. Oh my goodness, we've seen it happen, and it looks, that right front tire absolutely destroyed here on lap number 37. Tell you what, let's go back, let's take a look at this. Let's look at this contact here. You know, I don't know if there was contact. It looked like Pressey may have made an evasive move there to keep it out of the side of the 81 of Gimbal. And it looks like just overcorrecting right there. And tell you what, I do believe we've got an overhead camera shot. There it is. Let's go back to the replay for this one. Oh, and not able to catch it from the drone cam. But now that 94, he's got himself some big trouble. Big time trouble for a lot of drivers here tonight. Whitaker, Doer, Worizik, Pressey, Ryan Farrell caught up and involved with an on-track incident. We don't see any right side damage on that Gym Shark 81 of Jaden Gimbal, so we're trying to take a look at it here if we can. And from what we can see, we don't see any scrapes. So I don't believe there was contact between those two drivers. So Pressey just trying to keep it out of the guy on the inside and overcorrects it into the outside wall. Tough break for that fast forward Mustang of Nicholas Pressey, who's already back behind pit wall, and his day is done. So under caution for the fourth time here tonight, just our second race leader of the evening, Jason Blaney, was actually in command of the field when we went back racing after the restart, after the stage break. So only two race leaders so far here tonight as we turn lap number 40. Driver's going to inch closer to the 100 lap remaining mark. And get a little bit closer to the end of stage number 2 as well. Stage number 2 coming to a close at lap number 60. So just about 20 laps away. People are going to be able, all these drivers should be able to make it on fuel from here to the end of stage number 2. We'll see if we have any takers on the pit road. Drivers to the choose line, and it looks like everybody going the direction they think is going to serve them the best. And we've seen that high side really fire off earlier, but last time on the restart, we seen that 17 of Blaney choose the inside lane, and he fired out of a cannon. He was absolutely gone on the restart. We'll see if that 81 of Gimbal, your pole sitter, has been fast all night long. We'll see if he's going to be able to make a difference from starting outside row number 1. 74 of Wesley Jeanette chooses the outside lane, as well as Eric Hegdahl. Inside the 77, I apologize, of John Tiller. Right behind the 17 of Blaney, your race leader. And how about Matthew Baker? A great recovery here tonight for that 26 Camaro. Up inside of your top 6, we'll get ready to fire things off. Once again, pace car will make that left-hand turn. There it goes. Geico restart zone just ahead, and on the gas. Green flag flies as the 17 snatches the gas, and up through the gears we go. Side by side for a second. Oh, looks like the 74 wanted to go 3 wide. Baker gonna back out of it. We'll have Hegdahl now to his outside. Christopher Stang just off in the background, trying to gain some position in the inside lane, not really working out on the restart. Blaney able to utilize that great start, that advantage of being able to hit the gas first and parlay that into almost a half a second advantage as we cross the line. Lap number 43 goes on the board. One, two, three, single file on the track. Looks like 4th and 5th also going to go single file. Now Matthew Baker going to be all over the tail end of that 77 of Tiller. Baker going to look to the inside. Gotta watch leaving that door open on the high lane, though, because here comes the fast 70 fueled up Motorsports 70 of Eric Hegdahl. A little bit of a twitch for both Tiller and Henshaw back in the field. That 12 with a little bit of a wiggle on the high side. He's got Ryan Farrell tucked in line right behind him. And Christopher Stang continues to drop positions here, being stuck on that inside lane, not really able to go anywhere. And doesn't slide up and shut the door on that 12 of Henshaw. And now Hegdahl shuffled down to the bottom. Hegdahl shuffled down to the bottom. Christopher Stang still stuck inside of that 43 machine. Baker hard on the brakes, getting down into the corner. A little bit of wiggle out of the tail end under braking for that 26 of Matthew Baker, who's now into a top 5 position, up 5 spots from where he qualified, from 10th to 5th. Almost at the end of stage number 2. Just 15 to go this time by. And as we watch that battle fizzle on out, we'll look at this battle heat up at the front of the field. Jason Blaney has got your pole sitter right behind him. We'll take a look-see inside on board at the man putting wind work inside of his office. 17 of Jason Blaney still leads the race. A little bit of a look back now off of that Swift Home Buyers number 17 machine. Jaden Gimbal looks like Jaws. What a run right there. You can see that big gain by Gimbal, getting back to the gas a little bit sooner than Blaney. Ooh, big moment for Jeanette in the back. Did you see that wiggle? Did you see that big wiggle back here by Wesley Jeanette? And that's going to put John Tiller right on his rear bumper. Matthew Baker all over Tiller as well. Tight 3-car battle here, back through 3 and 4, still battling for the top spot. Blaney and Gimbal going at it. We're going to keep ourselves going back and forth from this battle to the battle at the front. Ryan Farrell right behind as well. There's that 43. How about Randy Henshaw? He's still up in the mix. Another 3-car battle back behind him. Oh my goodness, Ryan Farrell's. Oh, we thought he was going to be on an off-track excursion. Oh, boy. Able to save that thing and keep that 43 machine motor in and around the track here tonight. We've seen turn 2 give a handful of drivers some trouble tonight. Meanwhile, back at the front, battle ensues. down the backstretch and towards turn number 3. Here comes the entire field. Everybody chasing after Jason Blaney at the front. Gimbal running just about a half a car lane higher in the corners. He is all over him now. All over your race leader back into turn number 1. Not going to be there. Not going to have enough to quite get that. Next time around, just 100 laps to go. Ooh, trouble, trouble, trouble. Trouble for your race leader, Jason Blaney. Oh, my. Jason Blaney has some trouble and heads backwards in the field. He's going to fall out of your top 5 all the way back to 7th. Let's see what happened to Blaney once again. And man, just an off-track moment there for Jason Blaney. Not quite sure what happened, man. That was some big-time trouble there for Blaney. We'll keep it here at the front of the field with your race leader, Wesley Jeanette, trying to run down Gimbal. But a 1 second advantage right now for Jaden Gimbal as he gets closer to snatching a second stage win here tonight. Looking to sweep the festivities here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in the Pinkett Ford Cup Series. Right here in the International Virtual Racing League on iRacing.com, the world's #1 racing simulator, looking to back up not just that qualifying performance, but also that Stage 1 performance. Jaden Gimbal doing a good job up here at the front. Ryan Farrell, we seen him have a big moment handful of laps ago. Here's that 43 now trying to close in on a top 3 position to end stage number 2. Will he be able to grab that 3rd spot? Man, he is all over the tail end. Tell you what, why don't we go on board here? Do we got that one? Yeah, we got one. All right, let's go on board here for the turn 3 gyro cam with Ryan Farrell as he closes in on the back end of Matthew Baker. Baker with a great recovery. He was caught up and involved early front end damage on that 26, but Baker soldiering on, and now Ryan Farrell, after mowing a little grass, he's going to look to dust off that inside lane. He'll make the pass. Will he be able to make it stick? Slide job coming. Looking for a crossover from that 26. He's going to be all on his left rear quarter panel, side by side, back into turn number 3. Not able to keep the speed for a deep entry there. The 26 will give up that 3rd position. Gimbal stretching his legs now to a half a second over Wesley Jeanette. Ryan Farrell back in 3rd. Matthew Baker in 5th with Christopher Stang right there running and rounding out your top 5. I do want to take a moment to say thank you to each and every one of you tuning in out there tonight out in TV land. We appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. So while you're here, while you're at it, show these drivers some love and appreciation. And as always, drop them that thumbs up. Of course, you know you want to tell your friends to tell their friends. We can all be friends right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So join us in that continued push to 3,000 subscribers. Drop the thumbs up, click subscribe, smash that bell over there on the right-hand side to get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And with just 3 laps to go here in stage number 2, Jaden Gimbal looking for a little bit more bonus points here in the Pinkett Ford Cup Series. Pinkett Ford, providing hope and empowerment by enriching the lives of all those affected by breast cancer. Pinkett Ford, an approved 501c3 nonprofit organization comprised of a handful of family members. A lot of great things coming out of the Pinkett Ford organization. They've got that Pinkett Ford Arlene Scholarship. You had to have gotten your application in by July 15th. So we're going to be looking on the horizon here shortly in the next coming few weeks to find out who that lucky recipient was. And besides that, a lot of great things, a lot of great information, facts, preventative care, a lot of knowledge over there at the Pick It Forward organization with the terrible disease that is breast cancer. So if you need a shoulder to lean on, or you're just looking for some information, look no further than Pick It Forward. You can find them right over there in the description. Scroll down, click the link, or you can head over to pinkitforward.org. Once again, that's www.pinkitforward.org. And just like that, stage 2 comes to an end, and Jaden Kimball walks away with yet another stage win here tonight in the Lobster 150 from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Four out of your top 5 drivers in stage number 2 will be previous race winners, and Gimbal looking to separate himself here tonight. If he can get this race win, if he can cap this thing off and keep himself at the front for another right about 90 laps or so, he's going to be the first driver to the race to 4 wins. Locked up right now with Ryan Farrell, both of those drivers with 3 wins apiece, and you don't have to look far to find that 43. He's up 10 positions from where he qualified, running in 3rd, as pit road should become a busy place. We're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, but don't worry, race fans, you won't miss any of the action right here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We got big-time problems with that motor, buddy. Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're going to lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage. Looks like your car is toast. You'll need a tow back to pit lane. Press and hold your reset button and we'll come and get you.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iracing.com.
Back trackside as drivers cross the choose line. iRacing pace car lights go back out. Stages done it in the bag. We're gonna run this thing on out here tonight. Lap number 65 under caution. We'll get ready to set fire to the track once again here on the lap 66. Gonna be less than 90 laps to go. Can Jaden Gimble clean sweep the race festivities here this weekend, walking away with the HMG Innovations Pole Award, capturing both the stage 1 and stage 2 wins. Can Gimble cap it off with a checkered flag? 74 of Wesley Jeanette will start just to his inside. There's Baker and Tiller back in row 2. Pace car down and away, and here we go. Restart box on the gas. Green flag flies once again here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The IVRL Pinkett Ford Cup Series. Jeanette down to the bottom. Looks to take that second spot away from Baker. Baker had a great jump on the field on that restart. The 77 of Tiller going to slot in that fourth spot. Christopher Stang with a battle now with Jason Blaney. And we've seen Blaney at the front multiple times here tonight. He has definitely got pace, definitely got speed in that 17. Just some unfortunate incidents. Oh, and contact deep into the corner goes Christopher Stang. How did Tiller save that one? I don't know, a little bit of a white knuckle pucker moment right there for Tiller, as coming through the field is Ryan Barrett. Bit of contact and out filter time machine. Doer with a little bit of a moment here. He's got the 77 on the side of it, but that is the 13 of Tyler Doer. Down multiple laps here tonight after early trouble. Doer has been able to make it under the double digits. He was up around 12 laps down at one point in time. So these stage breaks and early cautions really benefiting that 1377 filtered time machine of Tyler Doer. Meanwhile, at the front, Jaden Gibble checking out. 1.2 second advantage over Wesley Jeanette, who's got Matthew Baker in tow. Jason Blaney, well, he's back inside the top 5, and he is breathing down the rear deck lid of that 26 of Baker. Baker has a beat to the inside, not going to quite get there to that left rear quarter. And a big wiggle out of turn number 2, and that's going to allow that 17 of Blaney to step away. So teammates now running second and third. Will they team up? Try to draft a little bit. Something you're probably not typical of hearing a draft at a New Hampshire Motor Speedway. But maybe these two drivers might be able to utilize a little bit of draft down these longer front stretch and back stretch. Big, wide, sweeping, tight corners. That just contradicted itself, didn't it, race fans? Big, wide, sweeping, tight. You're out of the gas for a good extended period of time here is what I mean by the tightness. You really got to get the mechanical grip. You really got to let that car roll over a little bit to that right front, maybe drive it off that right rear just a little bit on corner exit. Try to get that forward bite and launch up out of the corner. We've seen a handful of drivers struggle with putting the power down out of turn number 2 and getting loose and having to go down to a little bit of landscaping. But for the time being, everybody keeping their cars clean and under them. We head across the line. Lap number 73 goes on the board. House cleaning in order as we get closer to that halfway point here tonight in the Lobster 150 from New Hampshire Motor Speedway, race number 20. Season number 2 for the Big Get Ford Cup Series. 14 drivers started here tonight. Nick Goebel, unfortunately unable to start tonight's race. He'll round out the field and finish back in 14th. Early trouble for all three of these drivers. Nicholas Pressey, Jordan Warazik, and Christopher Whitaker, all early trouble enlisted out of tonight's race. The 12 of Randy Henshaw, he's had a few moments here tonight, and he is on pit road with the sawzalls and rubber mallets trying to get his machine back out on track. Tyler Miller, since early trouble here tonight, running off of the lead lap, back in 9th position, 9 laps down here. So out of the 14, we've got 8 left on the lead lap. Christopher Stang sitting right around, he's flirting with about a half a lap down right now. 11 seconds behind your race leader, Jaden Gimble, absolutely on fire. Close battle at the front between teammates. Wesley Jeanette and Jason Blaney going at it for that 2nd and 3rd position for the time being. They'll head off of turn number 4, back across the line. Both drivers chasing after Jaden Gimble down into turn number 1. Matthew Baker starting to get a little bit of heat from Ryan Farrell as they'll make their way out of turn number 2. Head down the backstretch. Everybody still chasing after that 81. There they go down into 3 and 4. Christopher Stang with a moment off of turn number 2. He's going to cut some grass for a little while. He'll get it back on track and keep it headed in the right direction. Henshaw going to lose yet another position, trying to get his machine fixed. Doer going to make that pass just a handful of laps ago. What a race, what a night here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway, just over the halfway point, and we've had quite an eventful night. Just a handful of race leaders. I believe it's only been 3 race leaders so far here tonight in the Lobster 150. Gimble, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we seen that 17 of Blaney leading earlier here tonight. Nicholas Pressey, the 94, was able to lead a lap as well during one of our stage breaks. Was able to put himself at the front of the field and lead a lap. So 3 different race leaders, but the man at the front dominating so far here tonight has been Jaden Gimble. Walked away with the pole position, both stage wins, but now reeling in, Gimble is that 74 of Wesley Jeanette. We're going to go right here with Jeanette. Tell you what, I do believe we've got some onboard cameras here with Wesley Jeanette. What do you say we jump on board and ride a lap here with that 74 machine as he tries to run down Gimble in the front? The battle that was hot and heavy for that 2nd and 3rd position between the teammates has dissipated and went away. Jason Blaney fading to the back, and it may be a product of overusing those tires a little bit too soon on this race run here. We've been green flag racing for about 20 laps, and it looks like the late run pace falling out of that 17 of Blaney. Ooh, flirting with disaster with that outside wall was Gimble just in front of Jeanette. We'll jump back out of the car once again. Let's jump back to our closest battle on the racetrack. That's that 43 of Ryan Farrell, who started way back in the field all the way in 13th. Farrell made some moves to get himself into the top 5. Had an off-track excursion, had to go back to the tail end of the field. Has just been, he's been the driver that has passed the most cars here tonight. He's moved up the most positions, your biggest mover of the race, but up 9 positions, but I think he's passed about 49 cars. From the back to the front, back to the back, back to the front, back to the back again, and now moving his way back to the front once again. Speed, definitely with that 43 on the long run. Thought about a look to the inside of that 17 of Blaney, but gonna keep it in his tire tracks for the moment. A little bit of a wiggle as the air comes off the front end of that Camaro. Oh, and here comes Wesley Jeanette. Let's get back to the battle at the front. Let's go back to the battle for those top 2 spots. Wesley Jeanette has a peek inside a gimbal. Not quite going to get there through 3 and 4. He's going to have to reset and try again here. Made up a ton of ground last lap through 1 and 2. Blaney still dealing with Farrell back in the background. We're going to try to keep our eyes on both of these battles if we can. Let's try to get a little bit of distance from the track. Now down to the inside, really rolling that center. And you can see the longer the run, the wider these corners are getting for these drivers. And Wesley Jeanette is going to be the first driver to go around Jaden Gibble under green flag race conditions. A little bit of a crossover look by the 81, door slammed shut by the 74 of Jeanette. Gimble almost into the outside wall on the exit of 2, and we've got a new race leader at the front. Wesley Jeanette going to take that top spot away from Jaden Gimble, and could this be a sign of long run pace not beating with that 81? We discussed that long run pace moments ago when talking about this 17 of Blaney. His God company, Ryan Farrell, is all over him. Closes in right through the center of the corner. They'll go side by side off a 2 drag race down the backstretch towards turn 3. And with a move to the inside that looked like it mirrored exactly what Wesley Jeanette was able to do, Ryan Farrell will take that 3rd and final podium spot away as we close in on 90 laps into tonight's Lobster 150 here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Ooh, and into the outside wall goes Blaney. He caught it at the corner of our eye. A big slide through the exit of 1 and 2, and Blaney nails that outside wall. That's gonna spell some big time trouble for Blaney. And already you can see that gap building right after that contact, immediately opening up a 0.2 of a second advantage. He's going to be knocking on the door of a half a second clear now is Ryan Farrell. So Blaney contact with that outside wall, and now trouble for the 17. As Ryan Farrell begins to separate himself just a little bit, that's going to put an end to most of the battles on the track. Let's run down. Let's take a look at a handful of drivers here tonight. What do you say we go back here with this Swift home buyer, 77 of John Tiller. He was up inside of the top 5 at one point, battling for a top 3, but Tiller since has slid back a little bit. He'll slot in that 6th position for the time being, running well here tonight. He's got some good pace. Lap time's about a half a second off of your race leader last time around, so John Tiller slowly but surely moving, inching closer to the front. Driver rounding out your top 5. How about this man right here? What a race, what a night for Matthew Baker. The Texas native had early trouble here tonight. Some contact on the front end of that Chevy Z01 Camaro, and he has just steadily, non-stop fought, scratched, clawed his way back towards the front of the field, and now rounding out your top 5 and slowly gaining a little bit of time on Jason Blaney. Blaney right here running in that 4th position. contact with the outside wall, and I don't know how long he's going to be able to keep that machine out there. Already 30 laps into this green flag run, with contact and damage like that, it could get pretty bad. Meanwhile, we'll move up here. How about Ryan Farrell, the RC driver out of Linwood, New Jersey, looking for a handful of positions here. He's going to look to make his way by Jaden Gimbel, as Gimbel, first driver to pit road. Green flag pit stops underway here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway in the International Virtual Racing League Pinkett Ford Cup Series. Wesley Jeanette, biggest lead of the night for any one driver. Jeanette out to a 3-second advantage. Ryan Farrell with a little bit of a moment off of turn 2. You can see, oh, and there it is. Farrell almost around, and we're going to have a caution. Caution flag will fly for the spin from Farrell. It looks like track officials deeming that car too sideways. Jason Blaney was able to get himself back to that second spot, but how about the lucky break for Jaden Gimbel? He's going to barely go one lap down, but he will receive the lucky dog. So he'll be able to come around the field and get fresh tires again if he wants. He was just off of pit road, but he's going to have to start tail end no matter what, no matter how you look at it. So definitely going to be one of the drivers we're going to have to watch over the course of these final few laps as pit road opens for your lead lap drivers. And every one of them going to head to pit road. Jaden Gimbel should get the wave around this time around. Grab that lucky dog position. Get himself back onto the lead lap and back into contention. And no! That is not going to happen. Jaden Gimbel does not receive the lucky dog, but he will receive a wave around here next time by. Jaden Gimbel will get himself back on the lead lap. It's a little awkward how all that broke down, but what we're hearing is with the leaders heading to pit road and Gimbel making his way by, he was no longer a lap down, so he was no longer in contention for that lucky dog position. So timing and scoring can play a big time factor here, and right there we're seeing it. Gimbel going to get the wave around. He's not going to have the opportunity to pit, so it's a little bit of fresher tires from the drivers rolling out of pit road. Wesley Jeanette going to lead the charge. Jason Blaney right there. Ryan Farrell going to maintain third off of pit lane. Matthew Baker back in the fourth position. Eric Hagtall, John Tiller round out your top six. Man, what a night, what a race. And if this track isn't enough to get your blood pumping, how about the next 6 nights, or 6 weeks, I should say, of regular season racing? Each and every Tuesday night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, coming to you live at 8:30 each and every Tuesday night. We'll head to Pocono. And then how about the Indianapolis Road Course, followed by Michigan, Richmond. We'll back road course racing again at the Glen. And then the final regular season race at Daytona International Super Speedway will set the field for the championship chase. Who you got? Who you think is going to lock themselves in? Will we see a fresh face, a new race winner in any of these final 7 nights? We've got to count tonight. We are knocking on the door of the threshold of 100 laps, but you gotta ask yourself, will we see another first-time winner? As we stated earlier here tonight, 12 out of the top 16 locked in right now. 12 out of the 16 championship spots locked up with race winners. We could potentially see it come down to a points battle between race winners by the time we get to the championship chase here in season number 2 for the Pinkett Ford Cup Series. So definitely those bonus points are going to come in handy. Things may get a little bit hairy over the course of these final 7 weeks. I mean, throw Indianapolis road course right there, just that one right there. How many of these drivers have been out there on that road course? We all know about the Brickyard. As we watch Jaden Gimbel catch up to the field, we'll go back green flag racing. Got a little caught up in the moment. We do apologize about that. Wesley Jeanette gonna fire off and regain that race lead. Jason Blaney right behind him. How about Matthew Baker? We said he had a fine recovery. How about this one? With just about 54 laps remaining in this race here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Baker, will it be the second time he's able to get to victory lane? Your first non-winner in the field here, John Tiller, right there in that 77 machine, running in the 5th position, so he's got himself in a good spot. If things go awry at the front, we've seen the teammates make some contact a little bit earlier. We've seen both of these drivers have some struggles throughout tonight's race. 17 of Blaney, he's had to overcome quite a bit of setbacks. Whoa, Baker sideways at a 2. Let's go back to this battle. This is definitely going to be one of the battles some of the drivers to watch try to make their way back up through the field. Hard on the brakes and locking them up was Gimbel that time into turn number 3, and Baker has a big slide, and he's going to lose that 5th position and drop all the way back now to 6th. Jaden Gimbel going to work to the outside of him and take that position away. Ryan Farrell, next one in line. Baker has to recover and recover quickly. Meanwhile, front of the field, Wesley Jeanette still leading his team in after the big slide by Baker puts him a little deep in the field. Eric Hegdahl now rounding out your top 3 positions. Jaden Gimbel, Matthew Baker, Ryan Farrell going at it 5th, 6th, and 7th. Let's go back to that 3 car. Oh, and Baker with trouble. We came to it right as Baker was going around. Was it a self-induced wound here? Let's go back and take a look. Let's catch that replay real quick. And yeah, just looks like that 26 just went around. Able to keep the car clean, not hit anything, so could have been a lot worse for wear for that 26 of Baker. He'll have to start a little bit deep in the field now as we head back live with Baker catching up to the pace car in the field. Caution number 7 on the evening. 2 of our cautions have been stage breaks here tonight. So 5 on-track incidents have caught a handful of drivers out. Nick Goebel, Chris Whitaker, Jordan Warwick, Nicholas Bressy, Randy Henshaw. All down back behind pit wall out of tonight's race. Tyler Doer, Christopher Stang. Only drivers listed off of the lead lap. Stang will receive that lucky dog this time around. And how about this race, fans? A little bit of strategy. You can see 3 drivers down on the pit lane. Over there to the left-hand side of your screen, you see Gimbel, Baker, Farrell, all down pit road. Ryan Farrell with just a splash of fuel, and he's going to be down and away, out back, rejoining the race. He's going to come out and take over to that 5th position, but with the choose line in play. You never know if you're going to really start 3rd driver inside lane here. Farrell could end up 2nd car outside, 2nd car inside. So we'll have to see where these drivers go on this restart. And it looks like the 81 of Jaden Gimbel, he's going to have to come back down pit road once again. Matthew Baker also rejoining him onto pit road. field will receive the one to go next time around. As we go high above the track here with one of our turn 3 drone cams tonight. Jeanette will lead the field back to the green flag. Choose line. Gonna come live this time by. Pace car lights will go off and we'll kick things off once again here at lap 106. It looks like the teammate's gonna split that front row. Jeanette to the high side, Blaney on the bottom. And Ryan Farrell back onto pit road. After only taking fuel, he's going to come back down to pit road, top off with a little bit more fuel. It looks like no tires for that 43. So going ahead and topping off once again, as well as the 81 of Jaden Gimbel. So the fuel mileage must be pretty close for these drivers to continue to come down pit road as we get ready to go back. Green flag racing this time by. Field makes their way into 3 and 4 back behind the iRacing pace car. That will duck off of this time by. At a turn 4, we crawl back to the restart zone and on the gas. Green flag flies once again here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Jason Blaney does not get a good jump. Inside lane does not get going. Blaney gonna hold on enough though to keep that second spot. We got side-by-side action between a lap machine and that 70 of Eric Hegdahl. Hegdahl up at the top side, lap machine down at the bottom. How about John Tiller moving his way into a top 5 spot? The 77 Swift Home Buyers machine running now in the 4th position. Christopher Stang not too far off behind him. Stang and a Mustang out there running in 5th. Jaden Gimbel's going to make the pass on Ryan Farrell for that 6th position. Matthew Baker rounding out your top 8. Left on the lead lap. Whoa, and contact. We got trouble. Contact and trouble on the track. Tyler Doer, lap machine involved here. Gonna try to see if we've got one queued up on that one. Did we have a camera catch that one? And it looks like producer's still over there on the background trying to find that one. See if we've got another vantage point of it. We're getting a head shake. No, we don't have that one. All right, guys. Well, we don't have a different vantage point of that, so some trouble here for Hegdahl early on the restart. That's going to put us under caution for the 8th time so far here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So as we find ourselves with a little bit of time, find ourselves able to take a little bit of a break. We're going to step away from the track, pay a few bills. You know how it goes. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
And we're back trackside, and we're going to jump right back into the action as the iRacing pace car ducks off. Field fires off, and green flag flies. Once again here from New Hampshire Speedway. Jaden Gimble going to take that top spot back. Once again, he elected to come down pit road back on lap 104. Hasn't come back down to pit road. And Matthew Baker with a big slide. Baker with a big slide, and caution flies once again here on lap 112. Baker gets super loose on corner exit, and a long lazy slide single car spin for the 26 of Matthew Baker, gonna bring out our 9th caution of the night. We've seen that one unfold right before our eyes, so no need to check the replay there. Matthew Baker with a big slide out of turn number 2. That has been the trouble corner for a handful of these drivers here tonight. 4 of them already with big damage out of tonight's race after trouble off of turn number 2. Matthew Baker able to keep the car corralled enough to keep it heading in the right direction. They're sliding to a stop. The 26 is going to have his hands full trying to come back up through the field with just about 30, what is it, about 35, 38 laps left, somewhere right in that range. You know, Dave has never been one to say that he's good at exact math. I'm great at quick math. We got, you know, we're about at 115, so that's, yeah, about 35 laps. There you go, makes sense to me. Great night of racing here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Some calamity chaos for a handful of drivers here in the Pinkett Ford Cup Series, brought to you by the International Virtual Racing League, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Great night out here at the track. Jaden Gimble finally back to one of those top spots, and the driver that walked away with the HMG Innovations Bowl Award captured both the Stage 1 and Stage 2 wins. Back to the front of this field once again, and it looks like Gimble may be coming to pit road. Oh, just trying to save a little bit of fuel here. So we thought things were a little close on fuel. We're beginning to think they're a little bit closer than what we may have been led to believe here. The 81 of Jaden Gimble cutting the car off as well. So Gimble definitely trying to save some fuel here under caution. And this is when you got to do it. You're able to save more fuel under caution than under green flag racing conditions. So I'm sure not just Gimble, but Blaney and Jeanette, who came to pit road 4 laps later, you're probably playing that fuel mileage game as well. Drivers will receive the 1 to go this time by. That means the choose line will be in effect this time around. Where does race leader Gimble go? Does he start from the bottom? Does he pick the top? I'm liking the top side. I really like the way that the drivers leading the race have been able to fire off on that top side. And really with that advantage of being able to fire off. And no, Gimbal gonna drop to the bottom. He's gonna wait and he's gonna drop to the bottom. We thought he was gonna keep it at the top. I really like that top side. You're able to fire off and really get away, get a good arc into the corner. As opposed to that inside lane, Gimbal, look for Gimbal to kind of wash up the track a little bit before turn one entry to get that better run, that better line, the better arc through the corner. Just a little bit interesting to see that inside lane pick by Gimbal, your race leader. That's going to put Blaney just to his outside. Jeanette was running in third. He's going to restart in fourth here after picking that outside lane. And Eric Hegdahl back there in that sixth position. How about Christopher Stang? He's going to start second car inside lane in the third position. Pace car down and away and on the gas. Green flag flies once again as we cross the line to begin lap 117. And there's that move to the outside that we said Gimbal was going to have to make. That's why I really like that outside lane. You don't have to worry about making that line transition. You can just fire off and head right down into turn number one like you normally would. Top two drivers stepping away from the field here, a half a second advantage for Gimbal and Blaney over Jeanette. It looks like Blaney has a little bit of trouble there in turn 3 and 4. He's going to lose a little bit of ground to Gimbal. He's going to back up to Jeanette. Staying right there. Hegdahl rounds out here in top 5. Ryan Farrell back up in the mix. Farrell running in that sixth position. More contact. John Tiller moves up the track a little bit of contact there from that 26 of Matthew Baker as Baker takes over the seventh position. Lap 118 out of the 150 scheduled in tonight's official race distance now in the bag as we begin lap 119. Ryan Farrell going to look to the inside on Eric Hegdahl. He's going to have it on corner entry. Will he be able to make it stick on exit? Yes. 70 of Hegdahl going to wash up the track a little bit. Oh, Farrell almost into that outside wall. Now all over that rear deck lid of Christopher Stang, and Farrell deep into the corner. He's going to slide. And he's going to keep it off track, and we're going to stay green flag. We're going to stay green flag racing here as Ryan Farrell with a big slide through the corner. Ooh, boy. I tell you what, there's some dirt track racers out there that would appreciate that big-time slide and drift by Ryan Farrell. I know Bo and Luke Duke would be proud as well. The 43 with a big disadvantage now. He's going to have to make up a lot of ground, 7.3 seconds back. I think he may need a caution to catch up to the field. Meanwhile, back at the front, Jaden Gimbal stepping out to a 1 second advantage over Jason Blaney. Wesley Jeanette right here. Christopher Stang in tow. So that's going to be the big battles on track. Second, third, fourth, fifth, all over each other. There you can see Hegdahl and Baker. Oh! Hegdahl and Baker going at it. Baker with a little bump on the tail end of Hegdahl, and that sends him a little sideways. Hegdahl a little sideways after the contact. Baker moves into fifth. John Tiller going to take over that sixth position as Hegdahl falls back to seventh. Big moments for a handful of drivers late in this run. Back up at the front of the field, we'll watch this battle ensue between Jason Blaney and Wesley Jeanette. It's something we're going to keep in mind here, race fans. Remember that 81 of Jaden Gimbal, he struggled on long run pace. During that big green flag run we had, we seen Jaden Gimbal really struggle with the long run pace. Could we see possibly Blaney or Jeanette just biding their time, trying not to abuse those tires too much, and possibly look to run down that 81 towards the end of tonight's race? You never know what quite is going to happen on track, and it looks like teammates going to go at it once again. Jeanette down to the bottom of the racetrack looking for that second position. Not going to have the run just yet. They'll pull, so close out of turn number 2, and Jeanette now going to pull even and drag race into turn 3. He'll look to the bottom. Teammate going to wash up the track and give him the spot. 17 now looks for the crossover, and Jeanette going to slam the door and keep that second spot to himself. 25 laps to go this time around. Race leader Jaden Gimbel. Oh, and there's the big slide by Jason Blaney. That's going to hurt those rear tires, and Christopher Stang going to come up and take that third spot away. Going to be a battle now for that fifth spot between Baker and Blaney. John Tiller waiting in the wings, waiting for something to go down. Ooh, close out of turn number 4 to that outside wall. Was that 26 of Baker last time around? Race leader Jaden Gimbel stepping out to a 1.1 second advantage over Wesley Jeanette. Jeanette out to a 2-second advantage over Christopher Stang. So it's going to end up being a 3-car battle here that we watch for the moment. Christopher Stang right there just out in front of Jason Blaney. Matthew Baker not able to make the pass, not able to gain that position just yet. But with that big slide from Blaney, you got to wonder how much that really hurt those tires. Trying to keep our eyes on the lap times last time around. Race leader turning in a 31.26. Jeanette turning in a 31.23. So just a little bit faster, just a couple hundredths faster is Jeanette than Gimbel last time around. But they are your top 2 drivers on the speed charts. They are your top 2 drivers in the running order. And Wesley Jeanette going to look to try to run down Jaden Gimbel at the front. He's got it back under a 1-second advantage. Last time around, Wesley Jeanette over a 10th faster, and this is where we see the struggles begin to happen for that 81. Has he used up that right front, just going a little too hard too soon here in the Lobster 150. Gimbel pressing hard at the front of this field, running right where he qualified. Wesley Jeanette started outside pole position. He's had some moments here tonight, but Jeanette right back to where he started. Running in that second spot, looking for a little more of that gap continuing to go away. Jeanette is reeling in, your race leader. This is your closest battle on track, so we are going to stay right here with Wesley Jeanette as he's trying to track down Jaden Gimbel at the front. I tell you what, why don't we go on board? I do believe we got a camera on that left front on Wesley Jeanette. And there you can see a beautiful onboard camera shot as Jeanette closes into just under 3/10. Tail end wiggling around a little bit for that 81 of Gimbel, and here comes Jeanette. Down into the corner, almost into the bumper. Ooh-wee, things heating up here at the end of tonight. Oh, and Gimbel, big move. Big correction and a big wreck is going to take out that 81 as well as Wesley Jeanette. His night's going to be over. You can see lots of sparks out of the from the undercarriage and the right front. Broke on the 74. Oh my gosh. We've seen it happen. Let's go back. Let's take one more look at it. Oh, man. That is some big-time trouble there for Jaden Gimbel. Let's take a look one more time here. Gimbel out of 3 and 4. A little bit slideways. Corrects. Pounds the outside wall. Gets into the 74. The 74 absolutely eats that outside safer barrier. And that's going to do it. big time trouble now. Jaden Gimbel definitely going to be on pit road for quite an extended stay. It's going to be hard pressed for him to even get that 81 machine back out on the track. The 74 of Jeanette, a victim of circumstance, really right there. Contact and trouble for Gimbel turns into a nightmare for Jeanette. Looks like that 74 machine is going to have to come to pit road. That's going to put an end to his race run here tonight. Heavy damage on the front end of that 74. And boy, does that change the game. We were down to 8 drivers left on the lead lap. Only 9 drivers still out there on the track, but now heavy contact for the 81 of Gimbel. Heavy contact for Jeanette. He's going to have to pull that 74 to pit road. There's no way that 74 is able to stay out and finish tonight's race. And there it is. There's the call to come to pit road. You can see that right front all but bent and broken off. That is a heartbreaker for Jeanette. And one man's misfortunes is another one's treasure. Check this out. Christopher Stang started outside of the top 10. Now running in the 11th position. Had to get a lucky dog at one point in tonight's Lobster 150. And now he looks to try to secure his first win of the season. 71 of Stang will start from the pole position. Matthew Baker gonna restart in second. Ryan Farrell, Jason Blaney, third and fourth. John Tiller, a solid top 5 here. And Eric Egdahl will round out your top 6. And with this late race caution, I think that takes the fuel mileage game out of the question here. Blaney, Farrell, Tiller, Hegdahl, they all came to pit road under this latest caution. As the iRacing pace car lights are off, we'll fire things off with just 15 laps to go. Stang and Baker, the oldest tires in the field right now, starting front row. Watch out for that fast 17 of Jason Blaney as well as Ryan Farrell. They've got fresh tires. They got enough fuel to make it to the end. Watch for things to get a little heated here over the course of these final 15 laps as we close out caution number 10 here tonight in the Pinkett Ford Cup Series. Christopher Stang bring the field to the Geico restart box. And wait for it, here we go. Green flag flies once again from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Staying off to a good start. Baker doesn't get going on the bottom. He's going to give up that second position to that 17 of Blaney, who fired out of a cannon. Blaney with fresh tires, and he's going to look to use them here. He's going to grab that second spot. Ryan Farrell now looking to the outside of Baker to take over that third and final podium position. Baker going to drop back to fourth. Side-by-side action between Farrell and Blaney. Now Blaney looking to the inside of Stang. Not going to quite get there just yet. Christopher Stang will cross the line as your race leader, still down into turn 1 this time by. Ooh, deep into the corner is Blaney. Oh, and contact almost with that outside wall. Christopher Stang with a huge moment. That's going to bust the door wide open now for those top 2 with those fresh tires. They're going to make their way to first and second. Ryan Farrell still battling with his machine. How about John Tiller moving to fourth? Matthew Baker started inside row number 1 on the restart. He's back to fifth. Now way up the track goes the 71. There might be some trouble. Big wiggles and twitches out of that 71 of Christopher Stang. Could it be the old tires rearing their ugly head here late in the going, as John Tiller gonna look to the inside and look to take over that final podium position? And he's going to do so off of turn number 4. Move that 77 to third. What a run here tonight for Tiller. And how about at the front, Jason Blaney, Ryan Farrell going at it. Lap number 12 underway. Hot and heavy action here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Will Farrell use that chrome horn? Yes, it's a mile racetrack, but you race it similar to a short track. We see some short track tempers. Heading down to turn number 1. Farrell going to have a look to the inside. Not quite going to be there. Up the track to the middle lane goes the 17. That'll open up the door for Farrell on the bottom. Ooh, almost touching off of turn 2. Blaney with a big moment, almost into the outside wall, has to collect the car. The 43 of Ryan Farrell almost into his left rear quarter. A big wiggle that time for the 43 of Farrell off of turn number 4. Will cross the line with just 10 to go. Whoa, Blaney with a big moment that time off of turn number 2. We told you, we weren't playing around, we weren't kidding, we weren't joshing you at all. Turn number 2, definitely the trouble spot for everyone in the field here, as now Ryan Farrell's all over the rear deck lid of that 17 of Blaney. They'll go nose to tail back down to turn 1. Farrell going to turn it down to the bottom of the racetrack. They'll pull even through the center. Outside lane gains a little bit of ground on corner exit. Blaney able to keep the power down and keep the car straight, but here comes Farrell. Drag race to turn 3. Deep into the center of the corner goes Farrell. He'll wash up the track. A little bit of a slide job. And now the RC driver going to take that top spot away. Farrell going to cover the bottom as Blaney doesn't try to make that move, doesn't try that late crossover we've seen here. Farrell looking in the rearview mirror, may have been caught out a little bit there, almost way up the racetrack through the center of 1 and 2. But there's that gap, there's the distance, 0.3 of a second now for Farrell. Top 2 still battling for supremacy here tonight. Ryan Farrell with a little bit of an unorthodox turn 1 and 2 line, but it's working for him, so we won't question it too much. Let's take a little bit of a look back through the field. Ryan Farrell leads the way. Jason Blaney right there running in second. How about this man right here, rounding out your podium spots in that Swift Home Buyers number 77. Quiet night for John Tiller. He's just been out there logging laps, keeping himself out of trouble. And here it is, end of the night, sitting in the catbird seat right here in third. If things get a little bit too overzealous at the front or heated, and John Tiller could find himself right there to pick up the pieces. Eric Egdahl in the 70 machine running in that 4th spot. The driver out of Travelers Rest, South Carolina, turning in a fine run here tonight. And Christopher Stang gonna round out your top 5. Meanwhile, at the front, let's go back up here with your race leader, Ryan Farrell, as he starts to slowly walk away here from Jason Blaney. The battle going to be over with. Blaney going to have to hope that Farrell has a misstep. As we come through 3 and 4 this time by, we'll take 4 to go. No real battles to speak of. Ryan Farrell leading Jason Blaney by 0.8 of a second, knocking on the door of a 1 second advantage here with just 3 laps to go. This time by John Tiller with a little bit of ground to make up there. You can see that 77 way off in the background. It's got a little bit of company. Eric Egdahl just about a half a second off, but I don't think the 70 is going to have the pace to get up and around that 77 of John Tiller. I mean, catching him is going to be one thing. passing him will be another. Ryan Farrell going to take the field back down into turn number 3 off of turn 4 this time by. We'll see the popsicle sticks on display by the flag man. The boss man of the flag stand showing the peace sign to everybody out there. 2 to go. Ryan Farrell showing the way over a 1-second advantage. It looks like your top 3 all but figured out here tonight. Close battle is right here. Tiller gonna have to keep himself up front, out of striking distance from Eric Hegdahl. And just like that, at a turn number 4, coming to the white flag, we'll see the final lap, the 1 to go here tonight, presented to you by picketford.org. The 1 to go white flag flies here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Ryan Farrell with an eventful night. He's going to finish 12 positions from where he qualified back in 13th to the top spot, snatching the race win late in the going after trouble from Gimbal and Jeanette caught up. Girl off of turn 4 for the final time, and checkered flag flies here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Ryan Farrell going to take that top spot. Jason Blaney walks away second, and John Tiller will round out your podium drivers. What a run there for John Tiller, powering through all of the controversy and chaos here tonight. Able to bring that 77 machine home. 8 spots gained in tonight's race. So definitely on his toes. Turns a quiet night into a big night in the point standings. As you see your race winner heading to the front stretch, he's going to give the fans in the stands a little bit of a smoke show. And as he gives all of the fans a photo opportunity, we're going to set things up and get ready to go to post-race interview, so don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back trackside here tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway at the conclusion of race number 20 for the International Virtual Racing League Pinkett Ford Cup Series. That's going to close the chapter on the first 20 races of the season. We still got 6 left in the regular season to go. Will we see a first-time winner here in these final few weeks? We got a fresh face here in the post-race interview, so why don't we jump right to it? Let's see if we can't go and grab a few words with the driver that walked away with that third and final spot on the podium here tonight inside of that 77 machine. John, it's Dave. You got us? Man, I'm doing good. How you feeling inside of that Swift Home Buyers machine after wrapping up your, I believe it's your first podium this season? Yeah, absolutely. One of the quiet drivers in the field, not just tonight, but week in and week out. Yeah, you're not involved in a whole lot of stuff. You're not involved in any chaos and controversies throughout this season so far here. So as we get closer to the end of the season, this regular season, just 6 races left. Is there any one of those 6 races that kind of sticks out to you as what could be a must-win situation to get yourself in a playoff position? Well, John, again, tonight, a pretty quiet night for you and that 77 crew. You were able to keep the car clean all night long, slowly but surely, just chipping away at it, and you find yourself right here in the 3rd position at the end of tonight's race. So before we let you go in and celebrate this podium, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the shop?
My sponsors, Clark Heating and Cooling and Swift Home Buyers.
Well, John, I tell you what, we had a little bit of audio mishap, so we're going to get you to come join us in pre-race next week at Pocono. Give you a little bit more time on the mic there, a little bit of audio issues on our end, so we do apologize, but congratulations on the first podium, and we hope to see you continue this pace and continue these quiet nights that turn out to be podium finishes. So with all that said, John, congratulations here tonight on the 3rd, and we'll look to catch up with you in pre-race at Pocono. What do you say?
I'll be looking forward to it, Dave, and thank you for all you do, buddy.
Absolutely, my man. Again, congratulations on the first podium, and stay fast and keep it safe.
Appreciate you.
All right, there you have it. Final few parting words from the driver walking away 3rd here tonight, John Tiller. One of the quiet drivers throughout the course of the season, as you heard, working hard week in, week out, trying to get those finishes that he knows is in the car. And here tonight, it pans out his way. Tiller walks away with the 3rd spot here tonight. Great run for him and that Swift Home Buyers 77. That's going to move us right along in the running order. We'll see if we can't catch up and have a few words with the man that walked away 2nd here tonight. Led a handful of laps, but at the end of tonight's race, going to walk away with 2nd. Jason, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing good, my man. How about yourself? How you feeling after walking away with a great podium finish here tonight after a little bit of chaos throughout your race?
Yeah, I mean, I can't be mad about a podium. Obviously, to be in first place late in the race, you always have that thought about, hey, what could have happened? But honestly, with the way that it was running this week, I wish I kind of had more track time. The car was never really under me, so a win was probably asking a little bit too much. So I can only be happy about where I finished. I had that really close call in the middle of stage 2, where I almost took out the whole field, and that's when I knew I had to change my approach and start getting easier on the throttle. But with that aspect, I was kind of always nervous about spinning the car, so I started being a little easier on exits, and it seemed to kind of kill my speed later on. But overall, I can't be anything but happy with the result versus the pace that I was putting all week trying to practice here. It wasn't good to say the least.
Well, Jason, you mentioned the corner exits. Want to talk to you about the difference in the exit of 2 and the exit of 4. It seemed like turn 2 was really the trouble spot for the majority of the field here tonight. What's so different about the way you guys are exiting turn 2 in these cup cars as opposed to turn 4? It just seemed like the car was a little bit more unstable and unsettled coming out of 2 than it was coming out of 4.
Yeah, that was something I was always curious about too. I know that there's a little bit of a different patch on the exit to turn 2 than there is in turn 4. And there feels like there's a slight bump or a different gradient in the way the banking is, so it takes a little bit more focus to not spin it off too. I think it's just honestly just the change of surface or the change of banking. Something is making it really different, but yeah, there was definitely a huge difference trying to be able to make those 2 corners work. And also the braking zones into the corners were also way different too. I was able to get into 3 and 4 on the braking marker in 2, and then down the front stretch I was having to brake at the 3 marker. So I don't know if it's the difference in speed you're trying to travel and break down through turn 1 and 2, or if it's, how much steering input you're putting into it, trying to be able to keep it down in that line. There's probably a lot of different factors, but it was definitely a noticeable difference.
Well, Jason, you were one of the drivers that were able to minimize your troubles here tonight, and that's going to turn into a second place finish for you here tonight. Yet another podium on the season. So, as you said, happy to walk away with another podium finish here tonight. So before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the race shop?
Yeah, I obviously like to thank all of my teammates at Fueled Up Motorsports. I'd like to thank Clark Heating and Cooling, Swift Home Buyers, ABN, Factory FX, GoPro, Venue Radio. They're all really good people, help the grind a lot. I'd like to also thank all of my teammates. They do a great job being able to get us all in the loop on how to stay competitive and teamwork that we put in through during the race to keep all of our heads in the game. And when things go wrong, don't let it get down on you. Just understanding that you have so many more races or so many laps to get to the end of the race. So that's honestly it, man. And obviously you, Dave, thank you for broadcasting every week and doing the amazing job that you do.
I know the admins and your fellow race competitors appreciate the kind words. We definitely appreciate the kind words. And Jason, it's been a pleasure as always. And we'll hope to talk to you again before this regular season comes to an end and we start chase racing here in just a few weeks.
Yeah, for sure. And I just like to say good win to Ryan Farrell. He fought me off the right way and did it cleanly. And obviously, it's really weird how one of the craziest tracks gives the most clean and competitive racing. So props to everyone else that's running in the league so far and putting on such a show.
Absolutely. Well, again, Jason, congratulations, and we'll catch up with you soon.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, there you have it. Final few parting words from the driver that was on his toes for the majority of the night. Jason Blaney had some big moments, was able to minimize the troubles. As 17 walks away in second here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and that's going to move us right along and into victory lane. We're going to grab a handful of words with the driver that separates himself from everybody else, walking away with his 4th win on the season now. Ryan Farrell, it's Dave. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, Dave.
Hey, man, you were ripping it on the outside. A handful of times we've seen you making those power moves on the outside. Did your car just work better in that middle lane, or where was your best line?
Definitely the top. Anywhere below the top was sketchy for me. I kept getting in the corner loose, and I don't know if you guys saw it, but a couple spin outs on my own, kind of doing my own Kyle Busch reenactment, I guess, kind of thing, just spinning out, getting into the corner. So I figured the top, I just put a bunch of brake bias in it and run the top.
Well, we weren't going to call you Kyle and we weren't going to call you out, but since you mentioned it, we heard some other drivers talking about the braking point seeming to be a little bit different going into 1 and then going into 3. Did you find yourself having to adjust your braking points throughout the course of tonight's race depending on which turn you were heading into?
Yeah, a little bit. The braking points were about the same, or I tried to keep them about the same, but the difference was I was shifting on the or on the front stretch and not shifting on the back stretch, if that makes sense. Kind of keep the momentum down.
It makes sense. Okay, I know these new Cup cars with that extra fifth gear. There's a little more likelihood of a gear shifting going into the corners and things of that nature. So, all right, we'll put that one in our memory bank and utilize that for a little bit later on. But Ryan, as we were coming to you and we mentioned your fourth race win of the season, you're already locked into the championship playoffs. What are you going to do from here on out as we head into these final 6 races? Is it all about race wins, or are you going to try to pad your back pocket with some bonus points?
I'd like to get the points lead over the overall points lead because I believe we get some bonus points for that. So that's the big plan. I hope to be here next week. That's like my home race. It's Pocono, so I'll actually be at the race, and then I'll come home Tuesday morning and then jump on here and race with you guys. So I'm excited for this week, and the plans is just stay solid, let these guys race it out once in a while, and just keep my nose clean and try to get those points for the overall points lead over before the playoffs start.
Well, Ryan, I tell you what, when you get up to Pocono, shoot me a little message somewhere. We'll have to come try to meet up with you at some point throughout the race weekend. Going to be up there as well with a handful of the Turn 3 Racing Network guys. So we'll see if we can't meet up, have a couple words in person and all that. But again, congratulations on the 4th win of the season, taking the checkered flag here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So before we let you go, you know the drill. Mike is yours.
All right, I want to thank you guys first. Get this out of the way. So, Dave, I thank you guys, Turn 3 Network. Look forward to hopefully seeing you guys this weekend. I want to thank my motor sponsor, Alpha Pace. They do all my RC motors, Lyman Racing, and my fiance Emily for letting me get on here and race with you guys when I can. And look forward to next week at Pocono. See you guys then.
All right, my man. Well, until then, stay safe and keep it fast. All right, there you go. Final few parting words from Ryan Farrell, who tops the charts at the end of tonight's Lobster 150. Going to take his 4th win of the season. Checkered flag in hand. We'll see if we can't get him to slap a couple Turn 3 stickers on some of those RC cars. He talks about driving so much, driving very well here tonight, and putting it down when he needed to. Ryan Farrell going to walk away with the checkered flag. What a night here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We've seen a lot of action out there, whether it was at the beginning or the end of tonight's race, as we hear the producers hitting those buttons in the background. Those sounds. It's time to run down your unofficial race results here tonight from New Hampshire Motor Speedway, walking away with the race win in the top spot in that 43, Ryan Farrell. Jason Blaney back in second and rounding out the podium drivers for the first time this season, the 77 of John Tiller. Eric Hegdahl, Christopher Strange, and Matthew Baker round out the top 6. Leslie Jeanette, Jaden Gimbel back in 8th. Tyler Doer back in 9th position. 10th spot goes to the 12 of Randy Henshaw. 94 of Nicholas Pressey has some early trouble here tonight, and Pressey will walk away 11th. Jordan Warwick back in 12th. Christopher Whitaker in that 88 machine comes home in 13th. 14th belongs to the 24 of Nick Goebel. And that's going to be it. That's going to do it for us here tonight from the Turn 3 Racing Network. We're going to cut off the lights and roll up the cords. Get it ready to go. Watch some great racing action at the Tricky Triangle Pocono Raceway. And we're going to be back right here with the Pinkett Ford Cup Series at Pocono next Tuesday night. Mark it down, write it down, and I tell you what, join us in that push to 3,000. You won't have to worry about it. You'll walk away with a notification each and every time we get ready to go live. So until then, my friends, stay safe, stay loved, and we'll meet you at Turn 3.